So I'd like to invite us to explore the theme, which is actually the title of a book. And it's a theme that we have explored in different ways, and yet it's so rich. So let me share the title. And the title of this book is Happiness is a Choice You Make. And I might have mentioned it before. Happy hour some time ago. Happiness is a choice you make. And the subtitle of the book, I think, is Lessons from the Oldest Old. The title of the book is quite provocative. Happiness is a choice you make. It's not something that happens to you when circumstances are perfect, when you have perfect health, when you have just the right amount of money or the right job or the right relationship or the right house. All of these come and go, and yet happiness can be a fountain within, a choice that we make that is not dependent on the conditions. You can be sick, you can have limited mobility and still have a sense of well-being, contentment, happiness. And these are lessons that we explore in our spiritual practice. Of course we do. And this book, which I do highly recommend, is quite remarkable. So this journalist, I think New York Times journalist, I believe, and John Leland, I think his name. Maybe I should quickly find just so that I'm referring to him correctly. So he spent a year with the oldest old, with seven people who were over 85, and they became his teachers basically in that year. Yes, John Leland, Leland is his name. And it was a time when his life had fallen apart after a long marriage, and he learned so much, and he shares that with humility in the book about how the people who became his teachers had lost so much mobility, and with old age, what happens, and friends, relatives, with some of them not being able to live where they wanted to live, being transferred, losing their friends, etc. And actually, there is research that suggests that when we get older, even though we lose so much, but the level of happiness actually increases, which is quite surprising. But it's because of how people become wiser in learning to be with, to appreciate what there is, instead of pining after the past, or thinking about a future that's actually quite limited at that point, because lifespan, we know it's short. So this art, this both science, this art of turning inward, and there are beautiful examples in the book how John Leland's teachers, these people over 80, 85, for example, when one person is not able to go out to, to have an outing, and then he decides he's actually happy in his apartment, turning on the TV and having ice cream, which he's not supposed to have. But there's a sense of contentment, instead of thinking, oh, they didn't pick me up, they fell through. Like, there was a sense of happiness, there was a sense of peace. There's a sense of peace with the simple pleasures, with the simple joys, with the simple, actually, miracles of life. So hence the title, Happiness is a Choice You Make. Happiness is a choice we make. And it's a training. We train ourselves thus, as the Buddha invites us. We train ourselves. We train our attention. We train our attention here, right now, right here. The mystery, the miracle of this moment, instead of the past, the future. We have choice. Yes, of course, we can decide, oh, this is a terrible moment. I wish I was in somewhere else. I had a different body, different relationship, different whatever. And yet wisdom is in recognizing the beauty, the miracle, the grace, so many gifts in this moment, not to be taken for granted. So I think I have said enough. So that is the frame. That's the frame for the invitations tonight as I lead us in the practice of metta and exploration. So